is my review for Transformers War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime, as you can see, is a Cybertronian armored car, which does vaguely resemble the tractor-trailer cab they'll eventually turn into on Earth, what with him having 6 wheels, the color placement being almost exactly the same, what with the red and blue, and the front section looks a lot like a tractor-trailer cab. Very, very cool vehicle mode overall. I really dig the War for Cybertron aesthetic a lot. It has this nice futuristic look to it that I really, really dig. Not much to say about it in terms of features. It does roll fairly well, which is nice. I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, but he does have some very nicely detailed hubcaps. They've both got stars in the middle, and they do have some little rivets around the stars, and then they have this circle of pinkish red paint around them, which is meant to represent the neon lights that he had in the game. Very, very cool. It really, really looks nice in person. Very, very cool. He also does have this gun up here, which you can rotate around. You can also take it off. It does have a little bit of a gimmick in its own, which I think is pretty neat. They could have just made this a fold-out piece like they do on so many other figures, but if you, when it's folded up, it's meant for use in vehicle mode, but when you fold down this panel, it'll automatically spring forward and transform into his robot mode weapon, which I think is neat. Like I said, they could have just made that a solid piece, but they went ahead and added a gimmick to it, which I think is nice. We'll lay that off to the side and get on to transformation. What you want to do is you want to take this front section, you want to untab it, then you want to go ahead and flip this panel up and around. Usually flips forward a little bit more than that. There we go. Then you want to take these blue pieces, you want to untab them from the rest of his body, like so. Then you want to flip up these wheels, like so. Flip this panel back. There's for the pipes, what you want to do is there's a tab right here and a slot right here, and what you want to do is you want to rotate it around, and then tab it in like so. The same on this side. Flip that panel back, tab right here, slot right here, flip it around. Or I guess it goes the other way. Tab it in like so. Then you want to split this whole section like so. Then you want to untab it like so. Then you want to take these pieces right here and flip them down. You can, if you want, leave them halfway up if you want them to have some more pronounced kneecaps. I usually flip them down because flipped up I think that looks stupid. Anyway, then you want to grab onto this gray piece. You want to pull on it to extend his leg. Then what I usually do is I usually flip the foot down, and then I push it back to give it a little bit more motion. You can, if you want, leave it all the way forward, but I think that it does give a lot more motion if you flip it back. Do the same on this side. Extend it. Push that back, like so. Then up here, first off, you want to go ahead and raise this piece up. Then you want to take this panel and flip it forward on both sides. Then you want to rotate this up like so. Then you want to flip the wheel back, then flip this whole section down and rotate it around. The same on this side. Flip that back, flip this whole section around, rotate it around. Then what you want to do is you want to take this piece. You want to or actually you don't want to do that just yet. First off, you want to rotate this piece 180. Flip forward his head. Then what you want to do is you want to take this piece right here. You want to rotate it around. You don't want to rotate the whole section around. It's on a double hinge, but you just want to use the first hinge to get this kibble piece in the back. Then you want to collapse it all up, like so. Then you want to take this piece right here. You want to flip it down to tab everything into place, like so. You can leave these pieces flip forward if you like. I usually flip them back just because I think it looks better. Then you want to rotate these pieces around, flip this panel down, do the same on this side, fold that up, flip that panel down. I'll use the gun to get his hands out, since his hands can be a bit of a pain to get out. Flip his hands out. Then just get him to stand. And we'll give him his gun. And there you have War for Cybertron Optimus Prime in robot mode. And very, very cool overall. Like I said, I really, really dig the design of War for Cybertron, particularly its design for Optimus Prime. I really like the fact that it you know, it takes cues from every generation of Optimus Prime, but it does create a totally unique design, which I think is really nice. That should be tabbed in. Can get it. Ah, come on. See, I can transform this thing fine, but when I go to shoot the video review of it, it gives me trouble. Anyway, so overall, very, very cool look. A very nice head sculpt. Like I said, I really like the fact that, you know, it looks unique enough to be its own unique head sculpt. It does take a lot of cues from the rest of the Optimus Prime heads that we've gotten over the years, what with the long antenna and the faceplate. A very, very nice head sculpt. Posability for this guy is pretty good. He does have a very free ball-jointed head. Its sculpt allows for a lot of motion, which I think is nice. He does have a hinge right here just due to transformation. His arms rotate 360. They go in and out right here. He does bend at the elbow. He rotates at the upper bicep. His wrists do rotate, but just due to the way that the arm is sculpted, they are a little bit limited in their motion. Ball-jointed hips, mid-thigh swivel. He does kind of have double-jointed knees, but the second joint is set down really low, so it can look a little bit awkward when you're posing it. And he does have ball-jointed feet, which allow for some really nice poses. And they are pretty big feet, so you can get him into some really dynamic poses and he'll still hold them, which I think is really nice. Something also I should point out before I forget, in the game, all this back kibble ends up forming a semi-Autobot symbol, which obviously on the toy they couldn't do just because that would be impossible. But they did go ahead, they didn't have to do this, but I'm really happy that they did. They actually did mold in that semi-Autobot symbol. It looks a lot like how it does in the game. I think it's really, really neat. They didn't have to do that, but they went ahead and did, which I think is just wicked awesome. So nice job on that, Hasbro. I really, really like that. For some brief size comparisons, first off, I don't have the Classics Voyager Optimus Prime mold, but I do have the Classics Deluxe mold. So you can see he's a little bit taller than the Classics Deluxe mold. I changed my mind and decided to use the Classics Deluxe mold just because it does resemble G1 Prime a little bit more. But I still think this guy makes a very nice Classics Optimus Prime if you're missing any other incarnation for Classics Optimus Prime. Here he is just for a standard size comparison next to Bumblebee. So you can see at the head he's just a little bit taller than Bumblebee. Not by much, but a little bit taller, which makes him a little bit taller than the average Deluxe, which is nice. So yeah, overall, if you're not a War for Cybertron fan, I don't think this figure, or for any of the War for Cybertron figures for that matter, are going to turn you into a War for Cybertron fan. But otherwise, I highly, highly recommend this guy. I really, really dig his aesthetic. I really dig his transformation. I really, really like his vehicle mode. So overall, I think this figure is a really, really nice figure, and I definitely recommend you pick it up. And there you go, my look at Transformers War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.